Alright, so also today I'm going to give you guys kind of a little, not what you'd call a teaser really, but just kind of an introduction anyway to the T90 Laser 3. We have here the K firm grounds, which means they're just the K leather version as opposed to the synthetic version. As you can see there, retail is $200, which these ones are kind of a past season, so that number doesn't really mean too much to anybody. But here they are. Just like we said, these are the kangaroo leather versions of the firm grounds, not the synthetic. And normally, I would say synthetic 9 times out of 10. I prefer a leather cleat over synthetic. But truthfully, with the T90s, it can kind of go either way. I definitely do like the bag, though. The thing about the synthetics is that, first of all, they have the exact same sock liner, which is a really good one. These ones do not provide for a whole lot of slipping. They're a very good grasp of your sock and thusly of your foot, which means that essentially you get a good deal less slippage and blistering and missizings as a result of too much or too little stretch. So as a result, the sock liner on these ones is definitely a winner. It's all pour-on, as you can see. It's got a, kind of a design on there. Not that you're really concerned with the design, but we'll set this aside for now. The T90 bag. Like I said, I like that one. So the thing about the leathers also is that the leather T90 Laser 3, they get waterlogged. They're not a light shoe to begin with. I believe they weigh in at just under 12 ounces, which is actually just under double an Audi Zero. They are, they're comfortable, most definitely. They have a very good fit. They actually, they fit wide feet very, very well. But to be truthful, they actually fit narrow feet better than the takedowns in this line, only because these ones, like we discussed in the wide feet video, these ones essentially, they're meant to form and fit and shape to a foot, whereas the strikes and the shoots essentially are just, they're kind of formless. They don't really, they're not really meant to fit a particular size foot. They're really meant to fit just about everybody. They're trying to fit as many people as they can with those particular shoes. So these ones here are meant to fit a foot. They're meant to fit just your average, a soccer player's foot, which, the vast majority of soccer players' feet, they have that slight inward tip that we talk about, mostly with Puma, but these ones, this one's kind of a straight-on look. It's not really as pronounced a tip towards the instep, but it is still there. These ones, the reason why they fit wide feet so well is simply because there's a lot of space in the toe box. If you take a look, we'll get a side view here real quick. You see the toe box is a particularly tall one. It is pretty big. It's not a low-profile shoe by any stretch. The toe box is pretty tall, and also right through the forefoot, you can see just by eyeballing it, the width is pretty extreme. So anyway, they fit a lot of feet, is the long and short of that. The stud layout is an entirely bladed stud, forefoot and the heel. They actually provide really good traction on artificial turf, and the studs are not too long that they're dangerous on turf, so this actually makes for a really good turf cleat right here. That is to say, if you're not wearing a turf on turf, which you should be. These ones do provide for some pretty great traction on artificial grass, so these are definitely a winner for that. The synthetics, like I said, they don't get waterlogged, so the synthetics, or at least not as much, so the synthetics tend to be a lot lighter. And actually, the synthetic that they use for this particular shoe, it's not a Tajin like the Mercurial line. The synthetic they use for this line is actually pretty nice. Unfortunately, we don't have any in store right now, but as soon as I do, I'll show you guys that one too. The leather ones, however, provide for a much better ball feel, but as you can see, it's really only with the outside of your foot. The outside of the shoe here is really the only spot where there's any leather. The instep is this contraption. Basically, this zone through the shoe, these things right here, they call touch pods. Think Lotto with their twist and go. That's what these touch pods essentially amount to. They're not going to hurt your game, but they're not going to add anything to it either. They're meant to essentially provide a solid striking surface so you can get power on your shot. And these little doohingies right here, this little rubber apparatus along the side of the shoe, is essentially meant to go ahead and provide you with the means to put some movement on a ball from a spot kick. It does work. They definitely do that, but they rub off really quick, so it's not really all that big a deal. They also provide for the first and only defect on the Laser 3, which is this little section right here where the eyelets feed into that apparatus, that rubber area right here. This part all along the eyelets tends to come up, and as soon as that comes up, the rest of the apparatus comes off too. So, and by apparatus I just mean all this rubber bit over here, all the silver spots. Basically, once this comes up on the eyelets, it just kind of peels off like that. So, obviously not ideal. Truthfully, we haven't had even one pair of the leather ones that didn't have this peeling off fairly quickly. The synthetic ones tend to grab onto this material a little bit better. So if you're looking, truthfully, I have to say, if you're looking for a pair of T90 Laser 3s, pick up a pair of the synthetics. The leather ones may be more comfortable, and they are more comfortable. But other than that, they really don't have any of the technology doesn't work on this particular model, and truthfully, they're just, you know, they're too inconvenient with how heavy they are and how waterlogged they get. So, but yeah, if you are looking to pick up a pair of T90 Laser 3s in the leather edition, I would suggest heading over to Gold Star, and in future, you can go ahead and check us out to grab the synthetics as well. But for the time being, unfortunately, we do not have any. But yeah, that about wraps it up. In summation, it's definitely a solid cleat. It is heavy, and it is bulky, but it's great for wide feet, and it really is a terrific striker shoe. These little touch pods do provide the backing you need to be able to get a little bit more power on your shot. And they do that, but other than that, really, they kind of take away from the touch from the rest of the shoe, the rest of the upper, so you don't feel the ball very well when you're dribbling up the field with these things, so keep that in mind. But yeah, they are, they say, Nike calls them their accuracy boot. Truthfully, we've tested them and tried them 6 ways from Sunday. They're no more accurate than any other shoe, but they do at least let you get a little bit of movement on your shot or on your cross. So, but yeah, keep an eye out for these ones. They're actually going to be entirely new come fall time. Holiday time. So come 10/1, these things are going to be remade. They're going to be the Laser 4s. They really are not a whole heck of a lot like these ones, though. They have a lot of different stuff. They really don't even remind you of these shoes. So, but we'll show you more about that when they come out. In the meantime, check us out, goldstore.com, and thanks for tuning in, guys.